All right, so the Packers have waltzed into a situation that every GM and organization in the NFL dreams of. They have the realistic opportunity to compete for not only a division title, but a conference title, and to do it at very minimal cost to the organization. The Packers are set to spend just $192 million in cash going into the 2024 season, which is good for third lowest in the NFL. That's insane. That's peanuts. And on top of that, they still have $21.27 million in cap space. So you may ask yourself, how the Packers get themselves into the situation where they have such a high ceiling going into this year and they're spending such little money to open up that window for a division and a conference title? Well, let me tell you, it wasn't easy. And the Packers faced a lot of doubt from people in the media and even their own fans. Going into the 2023 season, expectations were not very high at all, and the Packers had a rough start. 2023 was a tale of two seasons for the Green Bay Packers. Going into the Week 11 matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers, the Packers were 3-6. Jordan Love was struggling. Chemistry with his receivers was not great. This team was just not gelling. It was by far the youngest team in the NFL, and they just looked inexperienced and outmatched in every game. So if you're a staffer on the Packers, or you're an executive, or even a fan, you're looking at this team and you're like, how are we ever going to get back to the promised land? How are we ever going to get back to the pedigree that we were with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre? How can we reestablish that standard? Well, after Week 11, when the Packers defeated the Chargers, that was a really entertaining game, by the way. Nothing was ever the same. Everything changed. The Packers went on to win 5 of their last 7 games, and they finished the season 9-8, and they secured the 7th seed. And even going into that playoff game here in Dallas and the Metroplex in Arlington against the Cowboys, hopes were not high that they're going to beat the Cowboys. The general assumption, including my own, was that the Cowboys were not only going to beat the Packers, but they were going to handle them, especially at home. Here in Big D, Green Bay ain't coming in and beating these Cowboys. Not this year. No. Well, guess what? They did just that and more. They dismantled the Cowboys on the road, and then they traveled to California, to the Bay Area, to take on the San Francisco 49ers, and they came this close to beating your defending NFC champions, a team that almost won the Super Bowl, by the way. And this was all from a team that was 3-6 at one point last year, and they were kind of like a truck stuck in the mud. Their tires kept spinning and spinning and spinning, no traction. And then once that traction hits, they were a different team. And this is a stat that I just want to throw out here that I think is scary. Jordan Love threw 32 touchdown passes last year and over 4,000 yards. And that was after struggling. That was after having a very unideal start to the season. So the question is, what's the ceiling going into 2024? Because you look at this team and it's like, sky's the limit. And I really think it is. I don't think that this was any fluke last year, how these Packers finished. I think that's very reflective of who this team actually is. It was kind of like a Dallas Mavericks situation. The year did not start off strong, but they finished strong, and their true identity showed at the end of the season. And I think that that's going to transfer into this upcoming 2024 season as well. This is a solid team, and I'm very confident in it. And so, in a year, in a time period where you thought the Packers would not be back, everybody was thinking the Packers would still be rebuilding right now. They'd still be crafting a team that can compete for a division title, or eventually a conference title. They wouldn't be anywhere close to that in 2024. Well, guess what? They are. Everybody said there's no way the Packers can get the quarterback position right 3 times in a row. It looks like they might have. Did they catch lightning in a bottle? No. I think the Packers were very strategic, and they continue to be strategic. And I'm going to break down why. Number one, this is what has partially led to the Packers' success here. The Packers are not afraid to move off guys. Just look at what they've done in the past. They had Aaron Rodgers for a good long run. They had a lot of great memories together, but they knew when it was time to move off. He went to the New York Jets, and the Packers transitioned Jordan Love into the role of their starting quarterback. Davante Adams didn't want to be franchise tagged. He wanted a lofty extension. The Packers weren't going to give that to him. So they said, all right, Vegas, here you go. Take Davante. You don't want to play for us? You want to get paid? Okay, we have guys that are ready to go right here in this building. You're going to Vegas. The Packers believed in what they had and what they were going to draft. And honestly, I respect that. For a lot of people, that was a puzzling move at the time, but now I respect it so much more. The Packers had confidence in their vision and in what they had right there in their building, from executives to players and beyond. I really respect that. And the Packers knew what they had under the hood. They knew, to quote Joe Judge, they're no clown show organization. They believe in who they have. They believe in who they are and what they're going to become. I love it. Additionally, and this is more of an external factor, but I want to break it down. The Packers don't have the added pressure from the media and fans that teams in big markets have. One of the best advantages that the Packers have is being located right in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Because if you're a New York market team, or you're a Chicago market team, or you're a Los Angeles market team, you're a GM, you have constant chirping in your ear. The birds are always chirping, whether it's the media, whether it's fans, everybody's opinions, what they think you should do. Keep this guy. Move off of this guy. We want this guy out of our city. Bring this guy in. I'll make a comparison here. The New York Giants were in almost the same situation last offseason that the Packers were in this past offseason. The Giants had a year in 2022 of unexpected success. What did they do? They overreacted. They were impulsive. They gave Daniel Jones a deal that he should not have gotten for $40 million a year. They went out and got Darren Waller, who I think is an amazing tight end, but he was older at the end of his career, injury prone, was not a great decision. They listened to the chatter. Green Bay doesn't listen to the chatter. They draft who they want to. They do thorough research. They do their due diligence. And as far as acquisitions and trades, they make great decisions as well. Key additions this year. Josh Jacobs, 4-year, $48 million contract. I know his 2023 season wasn't great, but this is a proven running back who I think is going to elevate Green Bay's offense this year. And safety Xavier McKinney on a 4-year, $68 million deal. He's going to enhance that defense. This is another proven player who the Packers gave a very feasible contract to. Love it. They don't have that noise, don't have that same pressure, so they can make calculated, sound decisions in-house without feeling panicked, without feeling pressured, and it shows because these decisions are amazing, and they've put the Packers in a situation where they can realistically compete for a title. Lastly, and I think this is organizational, I think this is philosophical, the Packers believe in the unseen. I'm going to compare them to an MLB organization here. They remind me a lot of the Tampa Bay Rays. Because even though the Rays are underperforming this year, oftentimes the Rays are composed of these players that are really good. They're not superstars, but they're all above average players. They don't demand the lucrative contracts of a Mookie Betts or an Aaron Judge or a Shohei Ohtani. But when this team congenializes together, they can get you to an ALCS. And that's exactly what the Packers have in store here. They're built up of all these above-average, high-ceiling players, and they put them in a position to where every year they can compete for a conference title. They believe in the unseen. Last year is the perfect example. Everybody, including myself, analyzed that roster and said, no way this team wins more than 6 or 7 games. No way, no how. They won 9 and went to the NFC Divisional. Almost went to the NFC Championship. Who knows what could have happened beyond that? They overperformed. because they believed in the unseen. They believed in what they had, even when everybody else didn't believe in them. And that right there is why the Packers are greats. And many of these players who nobody had any idea about when the Packers first acquired them, when the Packers first drafted them, people now know who they are. People know who Christian Watson is. People know who Jaden Reed is. People know who Dontavian Wicks is. People know who Tucker Kraft is. They didn't before, but they do now. And the Packers knew who they were well before anybody else did. That's why they're a rare organization. That's why they're in the playoffs every year. That's why they overperform every year. And that's why I believe the way this team is composed this year, they have an opportunity to make some noise in their division. They have an opportunity to make some noise in the NFC. This season for the Packers is like a $150 trip to Cabo. Not expensive at all, and a lot of value. It's a bargain. The Packers still have all these guys are still on their rookie contracts. Dontavian Wicks, Tucker Kraft, Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs. Not to mention, the Packers still haven't extended Jordan Love yet, and that's smart. They're not being impulsive. They want to see more, and I really respect that. Wise organizations create opportunities for themselves, and the Packers have created this opportunity for themselves. That is the 2024 season, and I can't wait to see what they do. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you and the time that you took out of your day to watch the video, and if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like the video and share it, as well as subscribe to The Era. The more likes and subscribers I get on this channel, the more resources I can attain, and the more resources I can attain, the more value I can provide to you, the viewer. And that is how I show my appreciation for you for the time that you devote to watching my videos. So thank you so much, and have a great day.